So, I had a phone call in the middle of the last video, but I want to show y'all this. Look, a hut, a Hawaiian hut. Look at this. Tiki things. What are these called? Look, they're little they're little fountains. Can you see it? Can you see it? Y'all can go in.
Excuse us.
And then look at all the palm trees. Look at this place. Oh my gosh. Can y'all believe that? Look. It almost looks like Jurassic Park. Are y'all seeing all of that? All the little palm trees. Little palm trees. It's big palm trees. And just, I cannot get over all the flowers all the way up. Look, all the way up. As far as the eye can see. It says, yes, I know I'm spoiled. People always say, you're so spoiled. I know. I'm thankful. I do not. Look at all the palm trees. Oh, I love this outfit. Don't forget your Hawaiian shirt. I have one. But I do want to get some of those men's beads. Those are like the men's Hawaiian shirt stuff. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look behind me. That's the entrance to Chick-fil-A. They're probably gonna, oh, look at this. The little rope, like, you know. Oh my gosh. They even have extra flowers in the waterfall. Like they have got the, what do you call those? What do you call them? What do you call them? I can't think of the name. Oh, look at these beautiful hydrangeas, look. Can you see those white ones right there? Right there. Huh, they've freshened everything up. I think one of the reasons that they do this, besides the fact that they really do love their staff and operators, because they invite all of them to come, they invite outside people too, and it's a big celebration of Truett Cathy. And he's not here, nor do I even, some people believe he's looking down from heaven. I don't believe that. I believe he's looking in the face of Jesus Christ. He could care less about earth. I don't know. There's only one instance, really two, in the Bible that talk about people who've gone on looking back. And one of them, it isn't good. One of them is Lazarus' brother, and he's looking back from hell saying, hey, tell everybody you don't want to come here. The other one is in Revelation, I think it's chapter 1, where the saints, the martyrs who were killed at the very beginning of Christendom, are looking out from under God's throne saying, how long before you avenge us? Implying they can see that they haven't been avenged yet. And implying that they're not very happy. Like they're crying out. Like they're upset, frustrated, maybe even actually crying. So it kind of makes you wonder, because we're told there will not be tears in heaven. But that's the second heaven. That is when Christ returns. And he hasn't returned yet. So that may be why they're crying. Is because even in heaven, they may be aware of, now, my hair looks so straggledy, but that they may be very well aware of the pain and heartache of this world. That's the implication, but only of those martyrs, not of everyone. Now let me just ask you, what kind of heaven would it be for you if you go to heaven, but all you do is look back here at all the heartache and pain of this world? Just didn't add up to me. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's, it's not important what makes sense or what adds up for me personally, but what does the Word of God say? But I'm just letting you know, as far as I know, there is no other implication whatsoever that the dead communicate in any way or can even see back to this earth. Not that they don't want to, or I would think they don't want to, because they're dead in Christ, meaning they are alive in Him. And I want to show y'all this waterfall. There are still some beautiful things on this earth, and this waterfall is one of them. So I thought y'all might want to see it up close, because, hold on. just look out the window at the flowers. It's going to be loud. Can you see? Look at all the flowers in the actual garden. I mean, the waterfall. Look at that. And look right there where they put out orchids, palms. Now then there's always this stuff that's always here. Look at the hydrangeas blooming, y'all. Look, all those blue hydrangeas right there. Just beautiful. But then look at the entrance for tomorrow. Can you see? I gotta see what you can see. That's kind of cool, isn't it? They really do try to make people... They know that people at Chick-fil-A work really hard. Not just at our restaurants, but in the office complex that supports that restaurant. We work hard for them. And also, this isn't just for staff. There will definitely be people brought in, dignitaries from Antarctica. No, I'm just kidding. But they do often invite, certainly operators in the local area. Because really, the people that run the restaurant is our team members, yes. Those young people at those registers are our critical staff. Operators, I shouldn't say staff. Operators, team members. They're franchisee owners, so the team members are part of the franchisee. But the bottom line is we could not run the business without them, and then, of course, the operator. But the operator will tell you his team members are his most critical thing in the world. But a lot of them are also very sweet to us, and they will say things like, we could make it without the home office staff. We called it home office for the longest time, but I guess, I don't know who they've been talking to. Because Home Depot, we used to call it, when I worked there, we used to call it the store support center, and now we're called the support center here at Chick-fil-A home office. But to me, home office sounds more homey. It sounds more closer to them, We're like we're a family. So I like home office better, but we're called the support center, and that's to remind them that we know we're a support to their business. We are not critical. They are critical. But they'll tell you we're critical, and we are. I mean, you can't just have a restaurant out there working by itself when you've got multiple stores in a chain, and you've got to have consistency across that chain to keep the brand consistent and unique from any other brand, but not within the brand. You do have to have a home office staff. So anyway, but I'm aware every single day. Matter of fact, when operators come to the office, and they do all the time, every week we get a notice who's going to be here. And if I know them, I try to look for them, but they're there for different reasons. So you can't always find them, or if they're in a meeting, you certainly wouldn't interrupt them. But you may see them at lunch, you may see them going from thing to thing. But the first thing I do is, you can tell by their badge that they're an operator. And I always go up and say, I just want to thank you for my job. And they're always like, oh, and I'm like, no, I would not have a job if it weren't for you. I always try to remind them that I know that. And then they're always sweet, and they say, well, we couldn't survive without you, and blah, blah, blah. We love y'all. And I always ask them, is there anything we could be doing different? Because it doesn't matter if you're an administrator or if you're a vice president. You need to be listening to that operator and transfer back, like for me, because I am, lower as far as responsibility. If I talk to an operator, it's my job to go up to someone of higher responsibility and tell them if an operator is unhappy about something and what it is, or either work it out myself. If it's something that, you have to use good judgment and discernment, but if it's something you can do it. Like if they, were supposed to get something and they didn't, and you can go get it, then go get it. But if it's something bigger, if it's more operational or functional or systemic in some way, then, go let your VP know. And so that they can, not that you're even offering a solution unless you think you have a really good one, and then you could offer it to your VP. But I don't know. I think they can figure it out. But I just say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that this was a concern of blah, blah, blah. And tell them, why am I telling you this? I don't know. I'm trying not to speed, but my husband kind of told me last minute today, and it wasn't, I was in the middle of finishing up something, and in the background, I kept uploading videos for you guys. Because while I'm working, I can hit upload and it takes like 5 minutes versus if I do that at home, it takes 5 hours. So, and it's not costing the company anything. It's not taking time away from work because it just literally, I fill in the title and hit upload. So, but anyway, I was doing that. I was also doing some meetings and some last minute, oh my gosh, y'all, I got through 100 emails and 102 more emails came through today. That's what I meant about not feeling productive. I was getting through stuff, but I just couldn't, it wouldn't stop. The flow was pretty constant. Y'all, my hair is looking so raggedy today. But I'm happy because I got some, right? Because that's the thing I've been upset about is my hair was thinning and it does seem a little thicker. And I think that might be due to, I did change some chemicals and I did start taking biotin. And I did switch from 10,000 units to 5,000 units based on what my endocrinologist said, not my dermatologist said. And I think I'm going to get a new dermatologist, so I won't say names because I don't ever like to put down somebody, their business. I will be honest with you about a makeup review, but not put them down. My fingers are still gross underneath. One of the reasons that I think I'm going to get a new one is because they said they thought that the rash that broke out on my chest, my neck, my chin, going up the back of my ears, and I'm starting to feel some itches throughout my hair. They said, oh, well, that's just a case of psoriasis. It sounds like you have psoriasis. It can come up at any time. I said, well, it started literally right after I had my nails done. Like within hours, I was having this happen, maybe even sooner. And I had an allergic response via asthma as soon as I walked out. And they said, well, that was just, there's a lot of powder. And everybody knows that. I'm not stupid. I know that there's a lot of powder and powder dust and all that, which is why, the ladies that work there wear a mask. Actually, she told me that's not why. I talked to the lady that works there. She says that it's because of the, it's us being right in their face. I was like, oh, it's not the chemicals. It's not, all the nail dust. And she goes, no, it's you, sometimes you can give us something, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure the nail dust, it does help. But I actually have read that those little masks don't help with pollen, and that nail dust is probably the same size. You would think it does. I would think it probably helps a little, but supposedly the mesh is not tight enough and it's not really helping. But it wouldn't surprise me if they were not really helping them. But anyway, I feel like a lot of times when I see these nail shops, I don't know that the operators themselves, the ladies themselves, are protected from all those chemicals. But anyway, clearly they are starting to have a problem. And as you change in life, you age and all that kind of stuff, you can have new allergies, your hormones change, there's all kinds of stuff. And certainly you can develop psoriasis. I just don't believe this is a coincidence. I believe it is from the nails that I got this rash response, especially since when you read it, it says on the chest and face, chest, chin, and face. And that's exactly where it happened. And they said you may also have what appears to be a sudden asthma attack, which is an allergic response to the chemicals, not the dust in the air, the chemicals that have gotten into your skin. And your skin is an organ, so it transfers. And yes, it does get in your blood and go through your bloodstream, just like poison ivy does. That's why it shows out somewhere else that you didn't even touch the poison ivy, is you start having a contact dermatitis response from that internally. So anyway, bye.